Hi everyone, my name is Huber-Lantz. I'm a CSIT student here at Csumb with a concentration in networking and security. And my capstone project is NERV, which is the platform for intrusion prevention and network monitoring. So I'll start with a little bit of a background on what intrusion detection systems are. You can think of it kind of like antivirus for your network. They basically sit between a group of servers and the internet and watch the traffic, network traffic that's flowing between, and based on the rule sets that you set up, can detect hacking attempts or policy violations or malware, things like that. Intrusion prevention systems differ in that they're actually capable of not just logging and alerting that the rules have been violated, but they're able to actually block traffic. So one way to think of those is kind of like a more intelligent firewall. Okay, so the problem is that there's a lot of commercial IDS and IPS systems out there, but they tend to be very costly and difficult for a small organization to manage or afford, which wouldn't be a problem except that due to laws and regulations like HIPAA, small organizations have to ensure certain levels of security in order to meet those requirements. And IDS and IPS can be a critical part in terms of demonstrating that compliance. So there are open source solutions which are free, but the problem is they can be difficult to manage, and there's kind of a lack of a fully integrated solution. So my solution is to create basically a Linux-based intrusion prevention system, which is built on top of open source software, and then to build a web interface and associated back-end scripts to actually configure and manage all of that software. So this slide shows kind of the architecture of the IPS system that I'm using. There's two physical Ethernet interfaces, and basically network traffic is routed from one to the other unless it's stopped by the firewall. I'm using an open source program called Snort, which does the detection of attacks, and then it's able to feed back into the firewall to actually block sources of malware or attacks. So here's a screenshot of the rules editing page. This is where you kind of configure snort filters that will trip on certain traffic. This is just kind of, in this example, just showing a rule that will fire for any kind of TCP packet, which is a networking, pretty common networking protocol. Another component of my system is that it implements a network monitoring via an open source tool called Nagios. This will allow an administrator to keep tabs on services and servers that are running on their system and basically be alerted if anything is unavailable. So you can see in this example, one host is unreachable and it's marked by red. So what I learned in this project, I've done some smaller sites before, but I primarily learned a lot about CSS and web design. This was kind of a bigger project than I had done before. I learned how to kind of integrate a lot of different technologies together. There's kind of the open source tools that I'm using, but there's a lot of other open source software involved in creating a platform which those tools can work off of. So writing system daemons in Perl to manage that was another thing, and just in general integrating a lot of separate software together. Thanks for listening to my presentation. I want to thank my parents, faculty, fellow students for their support. And if you'd like to see a demo of the software or have any questions, please come check out my poster session in room 120.